Lords and ladies, welcome back to MyStreet 5 years later with your host, Jacob Butter. Hello. It occurs to me, I forgot to say I was on. Oh, yeah, I guess I forgot in the premiere. Oh, well. Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking. I am back again. Hold on. Alright, several things are going on at once. Okay, here we go. There we go. Full undivided attention for now. So yeah, back with another episode of season 6. On to take them. Wait, actually, hold on. I just realized I've titled the episode "Take Them by Force" on Twitch. It's supposed to say Aaron's losing battle, and on the actual file it says Aaron ampersand hashtag 039 semicolon S losing battle. Yeah, you know what? Less about that, the better. Let's just invite the guest and get going. Hi, BB. Okay, cool. And now on to the episode.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was brought in.
Yeah, some of the segues not as easy to identify as the others, at least at first.
Whoopsie
Oh well.
daisy.
Oh well. I was hoping that KW could join, but apparently she's on a trip. Only because, considering the reaction from last time, KW has not seen season 6, and the first introduction to that was, of course, the episode with the death of Melissa. So that was fun. I look forward to when that comes out on YouTube. Oh well, we've got more to deal with right now. But also there's a premiere going on at the same time as this, but obviously more important. But okay. Take them by force. Sorry, no, Aaron's in battle. Whatever. Moving on. Episode. Let's start. Music comes off like right off the bat. Just. I love that. How to introduce the next episode after a character dies. Have the two characters who just escaped there, hidden behind bins.
I'll say I know why they do that, but I've always found that really weird in movies and stuff where you have to see the person move, like hide, to know that they're like just on the tail, but also that person definitely saw the ears or something.
Also, the camera showed Kawaii-chan behind the bins before, so that was another thing. Oh, and now she's not behind the bin; she's behind, or is that just a? Oh, she's backed around the corner. Okay, right, sure. I thought we missed a step there.
This isn't happening. This isn't happening.
This is not good. He's losing it. We can't stay here either.
Not a time for faces right there.
She did it for you.
That's not gonna help. I mean, it's gonna make him blame himself more.
Yeah, talk about survivor's guilt.
Exactly. Like, what? Yep, just as well that's now a thing that Mifos aren't affected by this. I think someone mentioned before that Kawaii-chan was tackled at one point when Aaron's eyes showed up before, so it might have been decided that was the case. However, I can just chalk that up to the Lycans didn't know the effect they would have on Mifos, if any, because that's not the kind of thing that you want to be testing in the field, let's say.
Garth told me that back in those woods, near the lodge.
Oh, now you can bring up the lodge. Great. Another thing that he's gonna be calm about.
When all that bad stuff happened, you were trying to do everything to protect them. She was
And now it didn't work because someone had to protect you and they're dead. How does that make you feel, Aaron?
like
Good
you.
grief.
thinking about everyone else. Thinking about you. She did it for you.
Okay, I know where she's going with this, but at the same time, like, phrasing, please.
Aaron, I don't know where anyone is. And we can't stay here. I need you to be here. I need you to be calm. I need you.
3 Mile
Yeah.
Mark, 3 Mile Mark.
That was Mark's face after he was turned around so he just couldn't see it.
Yeah,
He was having
yeah,
a breakdown.
exactly. It cuts off like right after his fist makes contact, so you don't see you didn't see the actual hole being punctured, you just knew it was there.
Yeah, he threw the punch and then it just like hard cuts to an apology.
Mm-hmm. Now I want to see a readout of this scene where Kawaii-chan just going, Oasis! Aaron! 3, 2, 1, Oasis!
No, can we just like dub that entire like Unis Ana scene in here so it's just every time it's Kawaii-chan is speaking, it's just 3 mile mark, 3 mile mark.
Yeah.
3
You know what's weird about this scene? It's the fact that I'm pretty sure, like, I saw some comments or another reactor or something go with this and say that this was like that they mentioned the possibility of a ship between Aaron and Kawaii-chan, and it was like, what? No, because A, they're both with other people, and B, literally anyone would have done what Kawaii-chan did in this situation. They might have phrased it differently, but they would have done the same thing. So maybe it's supposed to be I need you or something, but that was part of what's back in the back of my mind when I think of two characters sharing screen time, and that's all that is required. And also this.
I'm sorry.
Okay, maybe I kind of get where they're coming from. It's still idiotic and I vehemently disagree, but I get what they see.
Thank you, Kawaii-chan. I'll be okay.
What do we do?
I just realized this man's head. Wait, never mind. I was gonna say he like smashed through an entire tree, but couldn't get through a much thinner wall. Made of stronger material, granted, but less dense.
I don't know. We need to hide.
Where can we go?
We can go to the place where Af and I camped out.
Isn't that back towards the resort?
Yes, it was the idea that Aaron had from the beginning, and now that Derek is not around to question it, he gets to do his own thing. Heck yeah, Aaron.
Yeah.
Is it too early to leave? We've only been going for 40 minutes. Can I leave my drink already to Aaron? Like, very subtly, even despite the death of his sister, actually going against his dad finally again? I want to do it. I want to do it.
Yeah.
I always think there's going to be something else after this, and then I just I should have stayed to leave my drink, but do it. I'm doing it. All right, there we go. I think that was the earliest I've ever Levi drank in any 5 years later episode.
I mean, season 6 is pretty good, to be fair.
Okay, yes, but that's why I'm careful, because you have to select specific. We know the episode's gonna be good. You have to really think, what's the best moment to Levi drink here?
Plot twist. That's the real reason a season 7 hasn't happened yet, because season 6 was such a high note. She just doesn't want to. She doesn't want to mess it up.
Garth did it that way.
Which probably would be a thing that could be avoided if she planned ahead, but
I guess. Same for Darius, I suppose.
This way.
And Minor
Aaron,
Demons.
your
And
eyes.
Archinova. And Momo tells, God, all of these are examples.
I'm calm.
I see, he's able to do that so easily now. What was Derek afraid of before?
I'm calm.
You know, it'd be cool. So, I will say this could also backfire entirely, but it could go in one of two directions where, like, you kind of see like an apparition of Aphmau or something,
Oh,
and
like,
she
yeah.
kind of like tries
Kawaii-chan
calming
phase
him.
into Aphmau.
She kind of like tries calming him down, which could, in this context, go either way. But if you want him to calm down from a story perspective, you could go in that direction.
Turns out it was secretly Irene.
I guess. I don't know. I was meaning more so just like her as kind of playing the conscious part.
Yeah. The thematic
The
thing that we said in My Shimmering Husband would have been a great thing if the
You know,
character wasn't hallucinating.
the Jiminy Cricket of Aaron.
Hmm.
Now the Jiminy Cricket of Aaron.
My goodness.
Owie.
Well, that was fun.
You're welcome, Gareth. I do like the extras in the background. The two extras, like, it's obviously like in all previous seasons of MyStreet, the extras are normally just static unless they need to be, unless they have like lines in the scene. But with those two that you saw just back there, they actually were pointing towards that and talking to each other, as if they were like an actual film set, which means there's more people behind the scenes controlling those characters on top of that as a detail. So yeah, figurative Levi drink already again.
Figurative.
I'm only allowed one per episode. That's why I'm just like, do I do it now?
A werewolf!
Gareth, your ears.
Huh?
Someone! Call the Guardian Forces!
Oh, what's up, Starry? Don't want to chase people anymore? I don't know, it was Ghost last time. They're just like, oh, well, I guess why was everyone so afraid?
You put us right in the middle of the adventure park?
It was my second time casting that spell.
No, it was not. We've seen the series, Lucinda. No, it wasn't.
We need to hide! Now!
Oh yeah, stop right now. I know there's voices, but just listen to them while running. It's possible.
Who?
Him, let's go!
Why
When Gareth is the most logical character in the scene.
are you still here?
To be fair, he was running in adrenaline in a lot of moments.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, in that scene, I mean, he was actually like he's
Well,
the
I
one
know
to,
what
like, let's get out of here. But meanwhile, Lucinda is lying about her teleportation history, and Kim is stopping in her tracks.
Oh no, what I mean is more so that Gareth is a very adrenaline-based character as a whole. So in
Yeah.
this scene where adrenaline is good and rational thought isn't, it makes sense that he'd be the one to say, "Go get up, let's go, come on."
All right, then.
We said, ma'am, it's for your safety.
This is excessive. You've already looked through our place twice. It's bad enough you're here unannounced and with those weapons nonetheless.
That's right.
Sir, calm down. This threat is bigger than you and I.
Does anyone ever calm down when told to like that?
I don't think so.
Threatening here.
Don't take that tone with me, you.
We're done here.
Is that
Let's
legal
go.
to? Is she allowed to put that symbol on there?
Oh, right. Well, I mean, consider how many copyrighted things that she has featured in MyStreet before. It's not the first.
Fair enough.
All right, Spider-Man. The coast is clear.
She
See?
straight up just.
Okay, that was the thing from last episode. You know, Zane did like appear from from the roof, and this kid was like, "Spider-Man, is that you?" Like, yes, I am Spider-Man.
Spider-Man!
Oh, okay, yep.
Ow, my neck.
Spider-Man!
Ow, my neck and my everything, probably. Like, how on earth did you two fit in those things? At least Zane's comically large pink suitcase actually was suited to Kawaii-chan's body proportions.
Your neck? Your suitcase was bigger than mine. How did your...
Calm down.
That's a good point. If her suitcase was bigger, she should have got the smaller one. She's the small potato.
Down,
But anyway.
Zane. Do you want the GF to come back? Thank you. You are very brave. Anything for Spider-Man.
And Mary Jane Watson. I don't know. Whoever Athel is in this scenario. Actually, with that hair, she's Liz Allen. Anyway.
Thanks, little guy. You're a true
No,
hero.
Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen.
Isn't Gwen Stacy blonde?
Yes.
Okay.
Spider-Man's hair is brown. Well, Peter's hair is.
So was Zane's in a few situations.
It isn't right now. Maybe it was
No.
whenever they started talking.
Yeah, for a brief while in episode 1, Zane's hair was slightly brown for some reason. Yeah.
Huh.
This kid reminds me of you know that one kid at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2? Who just decides to face off the Rhino all by himself. Which, by the way, amazing setup for a superhero. Like, even as a child, just being like, I'm afraid, put him up. Obviously not in a Scrappy-Doo situation. That's the exception. Don't
That's
do that.
pretty much what Captain America does in, like, the first Avenger.
Oh, of course. Don't tell me she was overpowered as a child as well.
Well, no. He just kind of gets beat up in an alley, but he keeps on getting up and using, like, the trash can as, like, the shield.
I see.
That's where the classic phrase, I can do this all day, came from.
Ah, alright. Okay, now I can tell that some of the extras are just NPCs and other ones are actual control characters. There's just one gun on the table for all of them.
It's like Russian roulette.
Okay, so the implication of the crosses out, it seems like they're implying that all those characters are dead. Like, of course they're not, but I guess it's been like all of those people are being captured. Except Melissa, who's on the board, but... Oh, wait, no!
Well,
not except Melissa, because of the... Yeah.
Well, sure, but my question is because the line here implies that Aaron and Kwai-chan are both leaders of two separate sides. What do they interpret this group as?
I feel like it's I don't know. Maybe it's they interpret that group as last seen with Ultima and also Ultima. And then Mimo's just like, everyone else in the corner, we can deal with them later.
Everybody sit.
Aren't they already...
A few of them weren't.
One's
Alright.
lagging behind.
Yeah.
As you all know,
Toby. Like, I complained about that in the old reviews of season 6, but it was the end. It was the last episode. I forgot that he says it here as well.
Well, as you know, in MyStreet, you can't really go too far without seeing something of this caliber.
I mean, I'm just amazed it was the same character who said it twice.
the raid on the hotel.
You know,
did not
he's
go
expecting
as
people to know a
expected.
lot.
I mean, if he
Did you just
should
spit out
start
the
acting
Levi
like it.
drink? Did you just do a reverse Levi drink?
No, I didn't. It was I did leave my drink, like 12 minutes ago. That's gone by this point.
For multiple
The as you
failures.
know causes a reverse Levi drink.
Of course, yeah. Give me a second. No, definitely not.
Bravo team began the search and clear before backup arrived. The second and third helicopters were routed to the wrong hotel. Worst of all, one of our own shot and killed an unarmed and cooperating suspect.
Can people remember that phrase, please? Shot and killed a suspect. Just saying, if this was all, even season 6 had stuff that wasn't planned in it.
And now, we have a provoked Ultima roaming the streets of the boardwalk. At any moment, we could have an uncontrollable situation on our hands that would put the lives of 50,000 people at risk.
50,000? How big is this island? Jeez.
It was always kind of implied to be gigantic.
Okay, but not that gigantic.
It's Disney World, except times 3.
Right, let me just look this up. Disney World capacity. Okay, so the maximum capacity is 320,000 people. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
So it's actually a smaller Disney World.
Yeah, it's an island, so I guess it would have to be. Yeah. Which still amazes me because I'm pretty sure that's bigger than like the population of certain cities. But yeah, okay.
Aaron Lycan is the only member of his family at large. He was last seen in the hotel with Nana Ishida.
The only time we hear Kawaii-chan's full name.
How's the last name spelled?
That was the question that I posed when I made that the edit on the wiki page. I settled on an I think at the time, like Ishida, but it could have been Ashida actually, which I think is
Well, the thing is, because the way he says it, I could picture the Shida being a D as in duh, or a TH as in the. Because his accent makes it kind of hard to tell which one it actually was.
Okay, it looks like I looked up Nana Ishida with an I, and that seems to be what comes up on Afmao Amino and stuff like that. Not the actual Afmao wiki page is nowhere to be seen. But yeah, either that was what was the general consensus, or I put that energy into the world. I don't know which one.
You made it canon.
I don't know.
How do you feel about that?
Well, honestly, you know what? If I can take credit for that, I will. But
This is priority number 1. I want all teams on the ground in the city looking for him.
Wasn't there also a bunch of people who just called us about the other squad? Shouldn't we also capture them since we know roughly where they are and where they were last seen?
Sir, if I may be granted permission to speak.
Go ahead.
What about the rest of their contingent? We're still missing 5 other suspects.
Yeah, 3 of which were seen publicly.
They are not a priority. We'll shift focus back to them after Aaron's been found. Our seers found residue in one of the rooms, indicating that the rest of the group used magic to escape. They're already pinpointing where they went.
Magic leaves residue? Oh. I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, that works out.
Questions?
Yes, I have a question. If one of them has magic, what do we do in that situation?
I want all teams on the ground, fanning out from the hotel. We need to resolve this without any more casualties. I don't know.
The answer is hope they aren't. The answer is hope they aren't good at magic.
Yeah, because Lucinda has been progressively getting worse and worse over time for some reason.
Actually, I will say, do you think maybe this is coming out of nowhere, but maybe if there's if there's residue, right? Do you think maybe magic users are constantly like recycling each other's magic? Like the residue left behind is what's being used as the mana for another person's spell, and it's just kind of constantly going around.
Assuming they use a mana system in the MyStreet multiverse, because I don't know if they do.
What are we doing?
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah. Got some Discord messages. I'm trying to see.
You got. Is someone spamming your DMs right now?
Not really spamming. I just wanted to see if it was actually important. Turns out.
The answer is no.
Yeah. And now I'm getting a bunch of explanations. Hold on. It's like.
Were you asking, hey, how do you guys spell Nana's last name exactly? And so you
No.
just everyone's sending in their own like paragraph of etymology.
Yeah, people watching the archive, go ahead and send that in if you're interested. I don't know. I mean, see, this is the thing. If KW were here, that would be that'd be great because she knows a little bit of Japanese, as does Ghosty. Okay. Trying to see if Mike can join us. It's been a while. You never know. Okay, moving on.
So much disarray within our ranks since we've gotten to this island. Something is going on, and I intend to get to the bottom of it. Dismissed.
Why is it that dismiss was like added later from voice lines?
Sir, where are you going?
I wouldn't be much of a captain if I wasn't out there searching myself.
Of course. Now let me just go without getting my helmet first. All right, and it worked. Maya's here. Hello.
Hello.
It's been a while. I took my chance when I saw you on and was like, okay, let's see if this works.
Yes, I have the day off from work for the first time in weeks.
Brilliant. Okay.
Because I'm sort of babysitting.
You got the day off work in order to babysit, and you decide to... Okay.
They're downstairs. And I only have a fake gun, so they can't actually shoot each other. It just smells like gunpowder and sounds like gunpowder.
Okay. I wasn't concerned before, but I am now.
Hey, I'm babysitting. By the way, there's a ton of gunpowder here.
Yeah, don't worry, they only have a fake gun, as if it is a regular occurrence with American babies.
Okay, they got it for my stepbrother for his...
Hey, you gotta start him young.
You know what? Actually, there's some morbid truth to that, because actually, whenever I would have playdates that lived in the US, like my mum had to ask every household like if they had guns, and if they did, I was not allowed to go and sit there, go to that house.
That's okay. There's actually a story. So I don't think there was a ton to it, but there was these kids at my school who were hanging out, and one of them had like a shotgun or something.
Yes.
And they decided to play with firearms, that is, and one of them lost their
arm.
Their jewelry, if you will.
Ah, I see. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
so that story spread like wildfire, as one might imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as I assume the crown jewels themselves did.
Yep.
Right in the round tables.
Sir, it's done.
What's this?
Why did you stop after I like already passed you by? Can you like move back, please? My ears are back over here.
Status.
Stable. We're keeping everything off-site, like you requested.
Good. Keep this at stage 5 security.
You know, I'm just saying, she was playing around with some classic ARG things, like having because remember, the teasers were found in the descriptions after, like, combining, like, the
I do, yes, I reviewed all of them, yeah.
Yeah, it was a very fun thing. All I'm saying, She could have put in a website that was
Oh
just
my goodness. I
that
just
was
realized
just
I messed up.
she could have done like a website that just had a bunch of Guardian Forces like files in it.
Oh god, I messed up.
What'd you do?
Is
So
it not 5 years later?
no, it is 5 years later. No, I mean it's
Is it the wrong episode?
No, it's the right episode. No, it's not to do with this video. It's to do with the premiere that's going on right now. What I did was I did review all the first 3 episodes in one go. But when I was editing it, I exported the first part, like after the first episode ended, thinking, okay, that's the threshold. But then I forgot that I also reviewed all 3 trailers before starting episode 1, and that's now currently premiering in one video.
Oh no!
Yeah, so I can't go back and change that.
Ugh.
Right. Oh well.
Also, oh my god, there's a Ruin teaser. What?
Okay.
There?
It looks abandoned.
Oh my god, wait, is this the episode?
That could the episode of what?
The episode with the doors.
I guess.
We should be able to rest here.
It just won't open.
Cast Aloha Mora or something. Jeez.
Allow me.
The one time it doesn't shatter. Are you serious? Why?
New strength, new powers, even cooler than before, but no. I'm not gonna break the door this time.
I guess, yeah. And also full strength. Like, he deliberately did it this time. He wasn't just like it wasn't a reflex. No, he deliberately went to punch it as hard as he could. And no, apparently the doors are made of reinforced titanium or something.
Wasn't expecting that.
I'm good at lockpicking.
That wasn't lockpicking, that was a slam. We heard your fist make contact.
Sometimes.
That's not what lockpicking sounds like.
It was luck, wasn't
It was
it?
luck.
I didn't. Okay. I want Gar to, like, you know, reach out, just go yoink, just pull her
Oh
in.
my god, it's a release date.
Great,
Ah.
fantastic.
July, baby.
What?
Sorry.
Don't know, just DLC stuff. Doesn't really matter.
You hear that?
What?
Someone is talking.
Hey, let's pretend we're fugitives and we need to get inside and stay safe. Oh, look at that! It's reality. Get in here.
I mean, I didn't hear anything. And I can hear even better now.
I mean, that wasn't much of a threshold. You're a MyStreet character. None of you can hear anything.
I will say, this would have been really cool if it happened in the middle of the chase scene. Like, imagine they're running and then she hears.
It kind of did.
Well, no, like in a much more like stronger. Like, imagine she's running, right, and then
Yeah.
she hears the voices and she misinterprets that as something in the external world, and she reacts to it as if it's a real thing, and it actively causes her to get more cornered.
I
never
guess.
sure where that
Although,
happened.
I feel like if she did that and she was like, "Hey, did you guys hear that?" Immediately afterwards, she'd just like get like tackled by like 3 GFs.
Well, no, because like imagine like maybe she thinks it's like one of the Guardian Forces, and so she hears the noise and then goes the opposite way of the noise, only to run into the actual Guardian Forces.
I see. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
It's like that one scene of A New Hope where they like turn the corners like a million stormtroopers there. Some of which were added in later edits to be like, you know what's going to make this better? More stormtroopers.
That's such a funny scene. Like in the context of the scene, it's intense, but thinking of it, it's just like they turn around and there's just like a million of them just running.
I think that's definitely what George Lucas thought at the time. Is like, people are right. This is funny. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna click add more of them now.
Click add more. Just copy and paste.
one of the few edits that he's done to the original trilogy that people actually approve of.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And she's a ghost.
Appropriate.
So I think something that's important to note here, and I don't necessarily know where to take it, but I do think it is important somehow.
I
The
think it's
idea
important that she's like standing there in a trance right now, and not responding. She's like Alien X, just a
Well,
statue.
Well, because in Travis's head, right, it's black, whereas in her head, it's white.
Yeah,
So
different entities.
yeah, so I do think that's an important aspect. I don't necessarily know how, but I think that's food for thought.
Well, a white void implies an Irene connection, which I guess, considering who Ghost turned out to be, that connection is legitimate. Oh well.
Ghost? Where are we?
Oh, imagine she became like a prophet of Irene later in life.
Well, wasn't she kind of
That was
at
always
the
more of
start?
Donna's thing.
No, she wasn't a prophet of Irene officially. She was a
Yes, but
scholar. She wasn't actively
They-
going
I
into the
feel like
Church
they
of Irene or
treated her.
something and doing like preaching.
Yeah.
Yes, but I feel like they treated her as such.
Well, no, well, sure, they treat her because she's the only one who could read, as evidenced by the rebirth. But like everyone else was illiterate, and which makes sense for the time. But for the record, she was like the only one in the town that had the ability to read. So yeah, of course. But
I don't think I ever put that together.
yeah, but you also have to keep in mind that given the time period that MCD was trying to replicate, having her be a prophet is a much higher point of like a preacher at all is a much higher point of authority than we give it in modern day.
Maybe that's why Zane was so cruel to her.
Oh, maybe.
Mr. High Priest over here.
This place. What? You're here? The warmth here. It's familiar. What's going on? Someone is trying to talk to us. What? She's here.
And it was at that moment all my hopes were dashed.
Oh, and you know what? Actually,
What?
It's
Wait,
funny
why
actually,
were all your hopes dashed?
now that we're actually kind of joking about the idea of her being kind of like a priest or something. Maybe it's just my eyes deceiving me, but look at her bottom. Like look at her like dress and stuff, and then look at the sigil.
I can kind of see what
You
kind of
see
what
it,
you mean.
right?
Yeah, but she would have done that either way, wouldn't she? Like,
Well,
considering.
I guess, but still, I think it's interesting that she didn't necessarily wear anything about her in MCD, but in here, it kind of vaguely, like, it kind of resembles the sigil a little bit, right?
Yeah, no, I said
Yeah.
that, but she could have done that regardless of this. She didn't have to be a prophet in order to make that a thing.
I guess. I don't know. If that were to become true, though, that'd be like some pretty great foreshadowing.
That was definitely Cadenza's doing.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Before we move on
Cadenza
to
still around at the time?
was Cadenza around before? Which was that? Yes, is the answer to that. She was.
Well,
Yeah.
because I thought she left to become a lord, like to be the lord of Metelli or whatever.
Metelli's like right next to Phoenix Drop.
Well, the
Yes,
thing is,
but
she
Emmeline
was
wasn't there.
Here's the thing, right? They
People
travel.
Can travel. Have you not seen? Yeah.
Travel a lot.
She's got she has a pair of legs that work.
Yeah,
I meant that she was kidnapped, right?
She didn't stay there for the rest of her. Well, I mean, actually, maybe she did.
Like
considering how
my
she became a
assumption
ghost,
was
I don't know.
always that Zane, yeah, because Ghost's only memory was of Zane, and assuming that was the last thing that she was around to be the nearest memory to the front.
Yeah, that is. I'm.
I always thought that she most likely died at the hands of Zane.
I mean, it is kind of likely once she. I mean, he did say once she outran her usefulness, then that was it. I guess that wouldn't have been enough time to change clothes though, as well. That's a fair point. I don't know. Before we move on too much from this, I wanted to say that this reminds me of the. Let's go talk about the editing here. Like this, like the sigil and the background itself, and the pink and the sparkles, everything. It reminds me of the opening of this, and actually the intermission
Oh my
portion
god!
as well.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's the same edit applied to green screen blocks, which are a thing in Blockbuster, which means that we are seeing here Minecraft green screening, possibly one of the few instances in MyStreet where that happens.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. I really like the green screen blocks. There was a series a while back that I wanted to have them like covered like the glass with like the front of the glass with the green screen blocks, and you could just like put it like this. You could put like space on like an image of space over like the green screen, so it looks like you're looking out into space.
Well, yeah, that's how green screen works. That was what I was implying.
Also, the real reason I wanted to pause here, do you guys think the insides of the sigil, right? Because you have these like other layer. Do you think these meant something?
The whole thing can have several meanings. Maybe the outside means something more. I don't know what to tell you there.
I got it, Irene. But I do need to go, so I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was good. Oh, I like that. As she turns around, you could hear the boom boom.
We can't get help.
I must have done something wrong with the spell. We need to
Yeah, because this is a side effect of teleportation.
get her into the building.
That was a short conversation. Like, what did you want to say there? Hi. Bye.
Kim.
Oh, thank Irene, you're right.
Yeah, don't thank Irene just yet.
And she called out to us. She was. We can't just sit here. What's going on? That book. Terry. He isn't who he seems. He was the man from the lodge. He was the one who Ian got the potions from.
Oh wow, Travis's dad is the snake-eyed man.
Dang it! You should have. You missed the chance to say Snake-Eyed Man. That's the infinitely cooler title.
I mean, yeah, but also like I'm just, that could have. I think that may. Oh wait, no, that didn't cause a second wave of comments on Truth About Travis about that, because again, there was honestly like 100 people who were talking about the snake-eyed man on there.
Yeah, I'll say it would have been interesting if the snake-eyed detail meant something. Like, I get the feeling it's, I don't know, maybe it's because like he's kind of viewed as like a traitor in a sense because of the whole Travis situation, so he's a snake. But also, it could have been neat if like maybe his pupils almost resembled like a snake head or something.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been neat.
Yeah, but by the way, okay, so I had a comment on this episode. It says, "Well, it appears that no one seems to be commenting on Terry. At least not what I've seen. I mean, a double up like that is at least worth a mention." And then everyone ignored that. Well, the comments from years later, actually. I swear this needs to be an animated show on Netflix, or I'm gonna die without this show. From 1 year ago. Who wants to tell them?
No one. They're already dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe there's a season 7 in heaven.
Yeah, someone actually said, because some talented founders please make this a show and animation. I mean, that could happen. Then again, actual, official companies have reached out to AFMAU several times to make this into a show, and they've all been rejected. So,
oh, that's the stupidest thing in the world. What? No, if someone, if someone someone that isn't Netflix popped into my email and said, hey, you want to make Rip in the Dark into a higher budget, you want to make it into like some grand animated series, I'd be like, when do we start?
Yeah, you want to make that the next D&D movie they do? You know, Honor Among Thieves seems to be performing well.
That's true. That's true. It's like why would you deny that if you have something this good already?
I can tell you why. I can tell you the exact reason why. She said it was because it would involve a bunch of having to rewrite the show, and it wouldn't have been the exact same thing that she had imagined and what she wanted to be. Which, given how much we've analyzed this show, is probably like the worst excuse ever. It's like, oh no, you'd have to rewrite some things and have a bit of a different plan. What a shame.
Here's the thing, right? I completely understand wanting to have creative control. That's why I would say no to Netflix. As tempting as it would be, they're too unreliable as a partner, right? But I hate to bring back FNAF, but Scott Cawthon, whenever he was making the FNAF movie, fun fact, originally it was a Warner Bros. Film, but they wouldn't give him enough creative control, so he left them for Blumhouse. It is possible, once you get your foot in the door, it is possible to get a ways through for it to get big enough for you to then say, okay, I'm going to switch over to this, who has a significantly better reputation for creative control. The only thing I can picture being a hard you have to cut it is things like the Spider-Man thing, because no one wants to have to deal with Sony.
Even Aphmau said that there were several companies contacted. So
God,
I don't know.
Surely somebody had to have been a good proponent.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have been the mega huge conglomerate companies. But certainly if that's the case, even if they're not, then all the more reason why they would probably give you a bit more freedom, considering that they're the ones trying to find shows they would want to boost themselves and actually find something that works. And if this works already, then by all means. At the same time, though, having that, if the only possibility was that you'd have to rewrite a few things and listen to some other people regarding that, I get that, because at the same time, art being born from compromise, I can understand perfectly, considering in future years how much we've discovered of this series that was either not planned or completely ignored by the creators. I feel like that would have been a good chance. And then, of course, what happens a few years after that, maybe a year after that, actually, that when she mentioned it on stream, the first season gets a remake episode. So yeah, clearly, that's still she's not above rewriting certain things.
And even then, she should have proposed MCD. She's gone on record to say she's thought about making MCD various other things. She has specifically cited both a game and a book that she has pondered. She wanted to make it into either
Minecraft diary. That would have been perfect.
Dude, that would have been awesome. If they wanted MyStreet, right? MCD is a direct prequel. Surely they would have settled for that.
Yeah, remember, of course, Aphmau is, of course, the other character who's confirmed to be able to read and write in Minecraft Diaries, because that's how the show starts out and everything. So, yeah, that works. And she reads several letters and stuff like that also, yeah.
Planning on using us!
Terry, wait, what are you talking about?
Melissa, how does he know about the...
Slow down!
How do you know about the Melissa part?
One at a time.
Was that what Irene was saying to you? It was like Irene turns around, you have the epic music, then immediately just go like, "Okay, we don't have much time, Melissa's dead!" Ah! Like that.
What's going on?
This woman spoke to us. I could hear her just like I can Ghost. She knew us. I don't know how, but she just did. She was trying to warn us about Terry.
Isn't this kind of like me going like, wow, there was a man in a perfect costume of Jesus in my head. I wonder who that could be.
About his family, their lineage. He's going to put us against each other.
What? Why?
What do you mean, why? Divide and conquer, it's obvious tactic.
I don't know.
Wait. You're telling me a spirit came to you?
I don't know if she was a spirit. She felt alive and warm,
Now, she wasn't a cat, can't be a spirit.
like I could trust her.
Why should we trust anyone right now?
Because I know her.
What?
Ghost? Do you? We have to trust her.
Okay, who is her?
I couldn't see her face.
Yes, you
but
could.
I
She turned
remember
around.
her.
Great. Just like you remember your own memories.
Lucinda.
That's a good point.
Figurative Levi drink doing my job for me.
That's where I would have Levi jerked. That was rough, buddy. Jeez, she's
Oh.
done.
Absolutely. Yeah, she's already dead just as well. That would have killed her twice.
I'm just shaken up after everything, and I thought I heard
Oh,
Kim. and-
yeah, make someone else shaken up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I need you all to trust me. I know, it's a lot to ask. But if we don't do something now, we're all going to face a fate I'm not sure we can come back from.
Well, that's nice and all. But are you forgetting what just happened? We're being hunted and we have no idea where anyone is or if they're safe.
By the way, that charm is doing nothing at all at the moment.
Garth's right. Kim, Ghost, whatever you two just went through will have to wait. We need to focus on finding where everyone is and making sure they weren't captured.
Terry's the one who sent the Guardian forces to the hotel. As long as he's out there, we won't be able to get off the island.
Huh?
So what are you proposing? Kill Terry?
Terry and the Guardian forces. He's controlling them.
How is that possible?
He has some ability
How is it possible to control people? Lucinda, you've seen it for yourself.
that allows him to change the way people think. I don't know everything, but we need to find him.
Then we need to find Terry.
Really?
We need to find him. Then we need to find him. Thanks, Lucinda.
What?
When I met Terry, there was something about him. Something dark. Something I can't put into words. It was frightening. I couldn't place my finger on it. As a witch, I know spirits exist, and when they warn us like this, it's best we don't ignore it.
Thank you.
I'm just remembering that one time that somebody literally said that one of my friends had a dark aura and therefore they're to leave a call with them. It's what on earth do you mean? This is someone I've met in real life. Honestly, one of the sweetest people ever.
First, we need to find where Terry is.
It's like the way to insult a
Garth?
complete stranger.
I'm sorry. I can't.
What?
Why? What's wrong?
I need to find my family right now. I'm sorry. But I can't just go chasing after a feeling.
It's not a feeling. It's...
Right now, my family is more important to me. I have to do what I can to help them.
Gosh darn it. This is the number 3. Alright. Yeah, again. Sometimes just do it too early.
Sorry.
It's not a feeling, it's God.
Of course.
I will say, this whole situation would be different if she just straight up said, guys, God is with us.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a figurative sense. I mean she's literally in the room. We need to go.
We're on a mission from God.
Then... just don't get caught, okay?
Dude, it would have been cheesy, I admit, but it would have been so cool if they busted through the Guardian Forces door and said, "All right, it's time to repent."
Lucinda and Ghost just channeled their magic and was like, "All right then, sinners, time to do God's work."
Dude. It would have been so cheesy, but it would have been such a cool scene, you gotta admit it.
Yes.
Just go guns blazing with a line like that. Let's go, man.
I reckon that would have been Athal's most controversial video ever, but yes, it would have been worth it. Totally worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll make sure they're safe. Then I'll come to help.
It's okay, Garth. Good luck.
Same to you guys.
Normally say how does he plan to find both his family and them afterwards, but snoozer. It makes sense. Which, now that I think about it, actually, the GF surprisingly don't have any werewolves or Mifwa in their ranks. The reason I was thinking that's because they could have used any werewolf soldiers they had in order to do exactly what I just said and stiff them out.
Don't say it by the acronym, man. It sounds like you're saying that about girlfriends.
There's no werewolf GFs in this show. Actually, I don't think there are any of those either.
No, Aphmau. Aphmau counts.
Okay, fine. Yes, that's true. Okay, but fine. So the Guardian forces, surprisingly, are very human-heavy, considering that the abilities of both werewolves and Mifwa would be hugely beneficial to their forces. I know that they're actively trying to hunt for werewolves. However, if they still took some of their werewolf soldiers with them, because I assume they have them, then actually they're the ones who have been granted clearance or something, surely.
Okay.
And they know werewolf customs. They might be able to help on a psychological level as well.
I will say, I don't know if it's necessarily suitable for this exact kind of situation, but and I know Aphmau has a history with allegorical racism.
Oh, are you trying to say that the GFs don't allow werewolves and Mifwa into their ranks?
No. What I'm saying is if they have werewolf guardian forces, you could technically have a really thought-provoking conversation between them and Aaron.
That's true. Yeah. Another reason they could have been around. And the ability to contain a rampaging Ultima and suffer fewer casualties on your soldiers. Actually, even better reason to have them. They are literally immune to the effects.
Well, that, and also werewolves are shown to have superhuman strength. Admittedly, so is everyone else whenever the plot needs it, but we're assuming it's consistent, right? Then
remember that one time that Travis became immortal for a bit? It's invulnerable.
Yeah. But if they have superhuman strength, would they not be a good asset?
Yes, they would be a good asset because they can identify werewolf traditions. They can sniff people out. They have the strength, and they have the immunity to the person that you're trying to find.
Right, and they also can just straight up tank a bunch of hits
as well, on top of their armor. Yeah, even
shoot, man, that with their armor, dude, they're like gods in the field, man.
Yeah, another thing, some witches and warlocks involved in the mix. For crying out loud. I felt Toby really missed out. I mean, maybe that's the thing. Maybe Toby has a thing against werewolves or something. But again, Mifwa also immune. So yeah. Unless that wasn't common
to be
knowledge,
fair, Mifwa are designed after cats. They aren't nearly as bulky as a werewolf would be.
No, but assuming that it was known that the Ultima eyes don't affect Mifwa, maybe there was something about that. Then
I mean, sure. Werewolves are just such a good thing for me because again, they can tank a lot. They could bust through a lot of Aaron's hits if they really needed to.
There are so many reasons to have them among the ranks. And also, it just makes sense because of how the world works. Of course, there are going to be werewolves and Mifwa who want to join a military force, just like humans would.
Yeah. Who's the Betty Ross of the Guardian forces?
I don't know, but Toby's the Thaddeus Ross, so there's that.
Are there no cameras here?
No.
Okay.
Except possibly inside the Guardian Forces building, because Toby had that one clandestine conversation in the middle of the hallway that was under whispers. Clearly he was pretending to be moving due to something.
I guess, it's you would think for an amusement park, they would have the occasional camera along the wall that they're currently traveling across.
Yep, and also, I've realized now, Aphmau is not putting her hood up like she did at the start of the episode. She's being more careful when she's doing a literal milk run than when she's already been discovered.
No. See, but having like a really well thought out, like highly intense scene of them sneaking around a place that would be otherwise very peaceful, but for them specifically unimaginably horrifying. See, writing the subtlety for all that, it just takes too many hours. So why do that when you can just ignore it?
Yeah, and then hold your ground when someone says, "Oh, maybe this could be better this way." No, no, I wrote it this way. It will never change ever. Raw.
What was that for?
Look,
Look, there's no possible way I could have seen them coming, but oh, wait, maybe she smelt them. Snooter, forgot.
security increased. That means we're probably not the only ones who escaped.
Which means... maybe
Aaron's on the
Nana.
loose.
Let's head back the way we came. If we're...
The only person he cares about right now. I mean, not even Gareth. He didn't even mention Gareth, for crying out loud. I know Zane-chan, whatever, blah, 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 but still, his own brother and parents.
Fast, we can...
You know, he pulled an Ariel, you know. You would leave your whole friends and family for the girl you liked? He looked good.
Darn it!
They're searching through the alleys now. We have to go through the boardwalk.
Are you kidding me? There's so many GFs out there!
Do you trust me?
God, I can't take GF seriously like this, man. Are you kidding me? There's so many girlfriends out there, man.
You know that's an actual mod, right? There's the boyfriends and girlfriends mod that literally adds in.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm familiar with it. Yeah, that was in like the heyday of mods, wasn't it?
Yes. Which, now that I think about it, amazing to get extras from there.
That's
How
fair,
have I not considered this? Like, wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about some things.
Sir Nicanorth in season 2 is gonna be like just swooning all the ladies.
Yeah, not. I don't think that would work.
He's Prince Handsome, King Handsome.
The man is married with 3 children.
So that didn't stop anything. If we're talking about royalty. Also, for the record, assuming even if it weren't, he could be poly. He could be poly, technically. I think it would add to the drama if he were just straight up cheating, but he could be poly.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be in his character, admittedly, I don't think, to start cheating on his wife, but, you know.
Remember what he was like in Combat Vehicle, where he just, like, he barely even, like, could fathom he was married? It's like, oh, yes, my wife.
What is wife?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, honestly, like, actually, baby Silas was created because I literally did not know what the word procreate meant when I filmed that episode. And I was like, oh, what is this option here that says procreate? Okay, I don't know. Let's find out. Oh, okay, a baby just appeared.
You know, you're pro at creating things.
Yeah, did it without even trying, I guess.
Real master at it.
Mm-hmm.
In here.
What are we doing in here?
Pretend like you're shopping.
They didn't talk and walk?
You gotta love how, like, the bikinis are just like on display, like one section. There's like there's only one piece of, like, each of them.
Hold on a second.
On display.
If it's not
something.
If it's not too much trouble, is there a way we can go back to the billboard that has like all of the X's?
Where was that?
It was in the Guardian Forces, where there's all the X's of like the eliminated and the 2 sides.
Okay, all right. Let's see where that.
I want to check something super quickly.
Something is going on, and I intend to get to the bottom of it.
Dismissed.
Yeah, okay, let's get... There was a wide shot. I know there was a wide shot.
Okay.
Keep going. Come on. We're getting close. On. Yeah. Hurry along now. Oh my god.
If you want the full one, I think there's the one that was further back. When
Yeah.
it first appeared.
All right. As you...
Yeah, I'm not hearing that line again. Okay. Somewhere here.
Okay, this feels like it's moving faster. Oh, there we go.
Everybody sit.
Still didn't... Okay.
Oh.
No, because... This is the best we're gonna get, by the way. That one...
Okay.
That one bit before.
I'm just trying to see about Aphmau here. Oh,
Well, she's in the other group.
Here we are.
She was in the other group. I don't know what you mean about singing about
I know.
Aphmau.
I was trying to see her outfit.
Oh, that was already established. That was already a photo in episode 1. Yeah, I knew about that already.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering why she's still wearing the same outfit. So I wanted to see if the Guardian Forces actually like had that on record or not. It looks like they don't have it, at least in that picture.
No, she had the photos that were sent out and display was of that particular outfit that she changed 5 episodes before the finale.
Okay.
Whoa, killer mask, dude.
Ah, when that was rare.
Take off your mask.
Huh?
They're going to notice you with that mask, and
I'm surprised that she didn't think to do this that Zane himself didn't think to do this ages ago. Actually, it makes way he has the opposite effect. You could just take the mask off, and actually no, he did that in the dance episode, so he knows that's a possibility. And okay, now Aphmau's put the hood up at least. Now she's remember if that was a thing.
you need to blend into the crowd, not be separate from it.
That goes against my edgy beliefs. How could you ask me such a thing?
Do it.
Well...
Good. Let's go.
In earlier episodes, that definitely would have warranted the sparkling of violin music or something.
I feel like it still did.
No, the tone is too different.
Dude, he's trying to sneak around and then he takes it off and you just hear in the distance, wow!
I was just thinking, yeah, that's me, wow. And we're back to Frozen extras. I guess they don't need to be... They don't need to see them now, like no direct, so I guess, yeah. That guy looks eerily like high school Ian, though.
Get in line.
Huh?
What do you want, sweetheart?
I forgot about that.
MyStreet Season 1 2.0?
Aphmau, will you pretend date me? No, absolutely not. Be honest with your mother.
Let's see what they got.
Does she have ears?
Not out at the moment. Also, I just remember that there's an episode of the IT Crowd where the two guys have ended up being have been caught in the well, they tried to expand their social circle. Turns out they made friends with a bunch of thieves. So when the police actually do show up, they've accidentally called the police on them and they're onto their location. So they escape while they're all arguing, but the police show up and in a panic, one of them is like, "Okay, what do you? The police car's right there," like that, just pushed up against the wall and starts making out. The other one is like horrified at the same time, and then does that again when several other police cars pass by. It's like, stop doing that.
No, it's great.
Romance,
of course, yeah. I thought you would appreciate that one, yeah. Like, of course,
I got
that was the
pizza.
first option. I thought about that because I remember considering that Aphmau said sweetheart, she'd probably say that in a panic, rather like, oh yes, why else would a guy and girl be out together? And yeah. Also, you missed the part, Maya, where we were talking about the scene that for some reason people started shipping Aaron and Kawaii-chan just after that one exchange that they had. Which I can see why they started doing that, because of some things Kawaii-chan says, you know, I need you, then hugs him and blah blah blah, but no, just no. Don't consider it. It was the situation after Melissa died, and she needed to snap him out of it. I guess with the door. Well, yeah, there was the door exchange that we all saw earlier. That was the best.
No, the one with the door that got shot.
Well, oh no, that was last episode. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this opens up immediately after that happened.
Okay.
Oh, and here we go. She actually is kissing him. Psychic powers again.
This one.
Ah. Yeah, I forgot that too. Yep. Every time I react to something. All right.
Ah, gross.
Yeah, you've been around for this, Maya, but I've been on a roll in terms of predicting stuff with gacha reviews and any reviews. Yeah.
I'm just saying, knowing these characters, this feels like something that Zane would think up. This would be a very different situation if Zane and Aaron were coming by and the Guardian forces this line. Aphmau would have a very different.
I mean, if Zay and Aaron were both here, then Aphmau would have an excuse to just, kiss Aaron. But yeah, if it was just
no,
Zane and Aaron,
it was just Zane and Aaron.
If it was just Zane and Aaron, yeah.
Then the Guardian forces have the same line, and suddenly this looks a little different.
Yeah, suddenly they're just like, oh, now I hate him even more. I mean, sure, they shot Melissa, but raw.
Oh, the Guardian homophobes.
Okay, your audio cut out, so all I heard was homobes. Like that.
The Guardian homophobes.
There we go.
I can't believe this was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it is. Last season.
The final season.
Yeah. Can you believe also we've been doing 5 years later since 2020?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Oh yeah.
Close our lips were.
Well, never speak of that again.
How old is Walking Wednesday?
Walking Wednesday was 2019 when I started that. Actually, yeah, Walking Wednesday just turned 4 years old. I just realized I missed the anniversary. Completely forgot about it.
That's insane.
Mutant Girl is older than that still.
Okay, but I knew that was old because I associate that with the summer after 8th grade.
Okay. Which was also the summer.
I don't associate the rest of everything else.
Okay.
If you have any information on the suspects in question, please notify your Starlight Park guide.
Or the actual soldiers in charge, but whatever.
A pink-haired Mifwa has been seen in association with the suspect.
Nana!
The pink-haired Mifwa. Okay, by the way, nice telling sign who both of them actually said at the same time. That I do like. But also, like, the pink-haired Mifwa, really? Like, Toby knows Kawaii-chan's full name. Why bother at this point? Like, you could just say the name of the actual person and have the image attached and have the caption. That's what they normally would do.
I'm confused. I heard Donna. Okay. I'm no longer confused.
Donna's part of this and is secretly a spy.
I was like, what? When they said that at the same time, I definitely heard Donna.
Dude, I will say that would have been such a cool twist if, like, one of, like, the Phoenix Drop High characters, not High, but one of the Phoenix Drop characters showed up from, like, MCD, except that, MyStreet versions of them. And because we know what they were like in MCD, we automatically trust them, and then it's like, plot twist, they're with the Guardian Forces.
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
Contact the authorities immediately.
What if they brought back Logan?
Yeah, but Logan was always kind of distrustworthy. We need someone who would actually be trustworthy, and then we can spin it because it's a separate version.
And of course, they could never have brought back Logan for one simple reason: the Guardian forces have not taken a single werewolf or Mithra with them, despite how useful they would have been. We had a whole discussion about this, like during the time away, while you were away, like.
I was
Think
buying
about how,
pizza.
yeah, think about how, yeah, but think about how useful it would have been to have werewolves. Like the werewolf, like obviously, there's got to be werewolf and Mithra soldiers in the Guardian forces. There's no way there wouldn't be. So take them with you. Have the werewolves. You know.
Sniff?
Yes, exactly. That was my first thought too. But also, they're hunting down the Ultima and don't want any casualties. Take the soldiers that are immune. As well, yes, if that was common knowledge, which I don't know if there is or not. There's a bit of a debate about
Well, okay, half of their knowledge, it seems, about the Ultima, like the Guardian forces, not Michael, very much seemed like it was baseline. They were working off of, I don't want to say fairy tales, but fairy tales and an incident from three generations. It's his grandfather.
Yeah, 3 generations.
So whatever
apparently 100 years, because apparently
Yeah.
Derek is way older than we thought he was.
So I will say, actually, so I think they even directly call them fairy tales in this series. But the thing is,
Caitlin
right?
said it's just a fairy tale. Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the
episode
thing,
2.
right? If these are fairy tales that have slight historical connotations, and you genuinely, in your family says they met one of, is it a fairy tale or is it just straight up mythology?
Or is it even mythology if it's confirmed to not be a myth?
Well, no, but at this point, the public still thinks it's not real.
Okay.
I would probably call it a fairy tale just because of the way that it was passed down.
Well, I guess, but
like
it's
similar to folklore, I guess.
I call it a rumor.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's
Like,
what mythology
more
is at the end of the day.
word
It's
of
a
mouth.
rumor that's written down and has divinity, and has a form of
Yes.
divinity attached to it.
That's why I would call it different than
Form of divinity attached to it,
folklore
really?
or fairy tale. What?
I think
Does the Ultima have
I would
divinity attached to
argue.
it?
I would argue. I don't think they explicitly
Yeah.
say it, but with the Ultimate being pretty clearly like the most
Actually-
powerful of werewolves and stuff, it feels like it is a form of it feels like an almost like deified entity.
Except I would say no, because wasn't it the story of the Ultima that it was a curse?
Was it? Or is
Yes.
hold
I
on?
think, I think it was a curse, and that's what they found out in season 4, right?
Okay, yes, it is a curse, but is that a thing that people know, or is that just a thing that the Lycans
I think that was part of the myth.
Yeah, they've already divulged that the Lycan family are their priority and that they're attached to the lineage of the Ultima, so they know that it passes down. As does Toby, because he knows about the previous attack.
Well, no, I
But
know that. I mean,
I
I'm
mean like
talking
the
more
story.
about,
I feel like the story is that it was a curse.
No, I get that, but what I mean is does the general public, if they hear about the Ultima, is it said that it is a curse or not? I don't think it was.
I think
Was it?
I think
They
it is
know that it's
curse.
passed down because they know there's a family attached to this legend. A
Sure,
family
but-
that obviously the members of which would not have been around when it started, so they know that it's
Sure.
inherited.
But that's not necessarily a curse, is it?
Yes, that could be genetic. That could be like Irene.
I've
is
always
arguably-
theorized that it's actually a genetic condition rather than a curse, just based on how it behaves.
Well, I would kind of argue against that on the lines of it skipped Melissa.
Yes, exactly. You know, not every child inherits genetic traits from their parents.
Yes, but if it is genetic, then you could almost have 2 Ultimas, and that's not ever been seen in history from what we've been told.
We've only known about 3 Ultimas over the hundreds of years that the curse
4.
has been passed down.
The first one and the most recent 3, but yeah.
There we go. So 4 over several centuries. I feel like there would have been a few more. At least.
I will say, one thing that has always got me is the implication that MCD Aaron is somehow attached to the Ultima stuff, and they just don't correlate.
Yeah, no, they don't. His whole thing was killing werewolves.
Well, even then, I feel like in MCD, I feel like yeah,
Yes.
but even then, in MCD Aaron, that's clearly what they're referring to. But I feel like we never really see him hunt exclusively werewolves.
Yeah, we do. First, his intro.
No, but we never see that as like a hobby or anything. Like,
No
if you were
no one
to
said
just
it was a hobby. We see him on screen hunt werewolves and save Aphmau.
yeah, to save Aphmau, but
with
like
with a sword that he confirms is lethal to werewolves specifically.
Which we do see in this show.
Did he confirm that it was werewolves specifically?
Well, it was more werewolves are more vulnerable to it. I phrased that wrong, but either way, werewolves are sensitive to it more so than anyone else would. I feel like it still would have the same effect on everyone else. It's kind of like if you fire a silver bullet at a human, they still die. But you know the idea. It's designed for werewolves.
Okay, I don't know.
It also looks like it's the size of his body.
Ooh, that just comes down to Aphmau liking anime.
And also the fact that the models improved over time and there was a change of height in everyone after MCD.
I do want to give some props actually to that because Aphmau did that in a little bit more of a realistic way. Because
look at her and Jane in this shot right here, actually.
Well, the implication that it's a longsword is really nice because Aaron always pretty much always holds it with two hands, which is nice because that's how you're supposed to wield a longsword because it's too much for just one. Because you're supposed to swing it with all of your body weight.
Oh, you're talking about models in terms of the model poses. We're talking about model heights here.
Oh no! I mean, I just mean that the way she made them actually wield the broadsword was.
Yeah, when I said improved models, I was referring to what Maya said about sizes, about body sizes. The model poses is a different thing, which also is, which has been consistently good throughout.
Yeah,
I was just saying that, no duh, it would hurt anybody because the sword is almost the size of him when he shows up. It's a giant sword.
Yes, but werewolves are more vulnerable to it, as was confirmed by Aaron, I think, during his first scene.
And again, if it is meant to be resembling a longsword, just in general, again, longswords, it's in the name. They're needless.
Long. Yes, we get that part. Okay.
They are stupidly long, which is why you have to hold them with two hands because it's too much weight. You're supposed to swing them with all your force.
Okay, but back to the Ultima. The reason I was saying that it's a curse is because the general public, before the Guardian Forces spins, I guess, the information, the general public is already afraid. And I feel like
okay.
Because
to be fair,
that's because the information about the Lycans leaked before the GFs actually started spreading that.
Yeah,
Sorry, the Guardian Forces. My apologies, BB. But yeah, they cordoned off the island and everything after that fact because they knew that the Lycans were here.
I will say also fear, right? Fear, I don't know if that is indicative that they think it's a curse, right? If Jesus Christ, right? But if Jesus Christ were real, right? Well, the biblical version, right? If that version of Jesus were real and he came down, I think most people that aren't Christian would be pretty terrified too, given the promises that he made. But he's not
so to answer your question about whether or not they think it's a curse, it depends on the language used by the Guardian Forces describing the event and what they actually have said. Either way, they know that it's passed down, and they know that this particular family is dangerous, and they also know who is the likely candidate to be the person who's most affected by the Ultima, whatever it may be. That's what's important to them. So as far as if it counts as mythology to them, I mean, again, clearly they can see it on full display, so it's not a myth to them at this point, especially on this island.
They weren't caught. Does that mean they got everyone else?
No. We escaped and our photos aren't up there.
I thought that said Sanji for a second back there. I was like, I mean, talk about liking anime.
I'm gonna give some kudos for that voice acting there, actually, though, because you could hear the "in" being lengthened like Aaron, not like Zane was actually having to think about that answer. Like he was very much it wasn't a no, it was a no.
Yeah.
Only focused on Nana.
I can imagine in the script that would have been several ends worth in there as well. That's what I've done in that situation. Because sometimes VAs just miss out context.
And Aaron. There's a chance that some of the others escaped too. But the rest of the Lycans, their photos aren't up. That means they were caught.
No.
Af.
Well, he's
where
sort of right.
would Aaron go?
Imagine if that was Aaron just sitting there.
No, but it was really funny because he was in the background as one of the non-moving NPCs for a while.
Mm-hmm. That is crazy though. Also, I do like what you said in here about the ending of the season and everything. I mean, I mean that's not really saying too much because that doesn't happen. So just read that out loud. I just had a crazy thought. What if they'd ended the season with a dead Aaron and a pregnant Tamira MCD? I mean, okay.
Dude.
If there was a mirror MCD, really, they'd have Aaron come back as a husk, hosting another body. But you know,
dude, I will say it's nice because that leaves room that maybe she'd give birth to a new Ultima.
Okay, yeah, true, but also, you know, the question then would have become, when would they have had the opportunity? You know, considering everything that's happened since
at the dance.
No, hold on a second. In
a public venue.
No, hold on.
Okay, I mean,
they
like,
could have done it during. They could have done it during season 5.
I mean, well, actually, yeah, that's true because they did have some time alone to themselves, you know, processing all the werewolf stuff. Maybe.
Processing.
Yeah, although I dare say they wouldn't have been in the mood at that point, but what do I know?
You know, there's nothing quite like getting back together like intimacy.
Of course, you know, hashtag aphrodisiac.
Are you sure this is the right way?
Yeah. I've walked this path with Af before.
Do you
You have to swim to get over there as well. That was the issue.
think it's safe?
It should be. The GF mostly stick to the main road. This is how Garth came back to meet Agent R.
The problem, of course, is that that the person who suggested this location was Terry. So as far as someone watching this episode who doesn't obviously know about what's going to happen later, and who just heard Terry being mentioned as the one controlling the Guardian forces, as far as they're concerned, this is a bad idea, and Aaron doesn't know it yet. That's another figurative levi from me.
It's coming.
Keep your head down. Maybe they'll just pass by.
But also, why doesn't he have his ears out?
This is true. That would definitely help him right now, if he thinks that no one's around.
They're getting
I recognize that voice anywhere.
closer.
I don't. I couldn't hear it.
Oh.
I'm tired of patrolling.
Suck it up.
That's because I'm hungry.
The GFs?
I'll tackle them to get their weapons. Kwai-chan, I need you to help me after I get them to the ground.
Yeah, she's beaten up 2 people by herself before. I think she can handle it.
Okay.
I don't care what Aiden says about tone and story matching stuff. It happened.
Food after this.
You think anyone found any hamburgers?
Ready?
You know what? Actually, I know the reveal right now. That line should have said that line should have been weenies.
Yes.
Ow!
There we go.
Daniel? Aaron?
He always sounds vaguely sarcastic.
Who does?
Yeah.
Daniel. I mean,
Wait, he's too soft-spoken at all times, even when in pain, that it just sounds like he's mocking them. Oh.
I I challenge you, Ian. Do you really?
Oh, gee. It's no problem. Did you guys have any food?
Wasn't there that one Teen Titans Go episode where they just like they're trying to determine like if Raven's being sarcastic at all times? What are you trying to say? Meanwhile, she's like, this is literally how I speak. I don't know what you mean. I'm actually not trying to be sarcastic. And Maya's dead. Oh, we're getting a moving camera. Okay.
Look, I gotta bring the plate downstairs. And I
Right.
think everybody left, so I gotta check on the dogs. I only got 3 of them.
Wait, did the children leave before you... But you're babysitting and the children left before you knew?
Yeah, I gave them money. They're on their bike.
That is
they're in
so
the kitchen.
stupidly dangerous as a babysitter. Yeah, I gave them money. They're on their bike. It's okay. Yeah.
Right. Well, that was, I almost said taken by force again. No, it was Aaron's losing battle. I mean, despite the fact that he won during this, the losing battle obviously was the coping after what happened with what Maya famously refers to, I guess, as the door episode. Despite the fact that the wall was shot in that situation, the door was not. Mostly because, of course, the bullets would not have gone through the door at that time. Something was in their way. Which is the morbid reality of that situation. But as for this episode here is one of those where, like, after the huge, adrenaline packed, action oriented show that like from episode from last time, this one coming down, it seems to go. It goes straight back into the nonsensical, where you start asking, huh? There's so many, why are you doing certain things in here? Other situations, it's like, well, some of the decisions like down to adrenaline, like what we said about Gareth. Also, the Aphmau and Zane stuff. I mean, yes, you could say it was weirdly placed shipping fuel. The Aaron and Kawaii-chan stuff was not, but this was, and it's like, why? But at least that kind of was, you can say was the heat of the moment and the panic of the situation. The Lucinda teleportation stuff, complete and utter lie. And the Kim stopping her with was like, well, I mean, it's good that you're hearing voices, but you can still hear voices while in movement. You don't have to stop. Because the volume was not changing during that time. So things like that. It goes back to being amazing, having so many Levi drink worthy moments in here, but also not holding up to scrutiny sometimes, which basically is just classic MyStreet. So there you go. Flight or fright. I think I'm trying to say fight or flight. But...
Yeah, that's not the saying. Flight or fright.
I knew it sounded off.
The two human reactions, either you flee from the situation or just go boo like that.
Hey, you know what they say about the bears? Always make yourself appear bigger to the bear.
Maybe that's what they should have done with the rampaging Ultima.
Yeah. Dude,
all right.
I gotta tell you, the intro to this next episode of Rip in the Dark.
Oh,
it's taken
about this.
It's taken a hot minute.
Okay.
There's
cool.
there's a lot for it. A lot more than I thought would be in it.
Okay, fantastic. So back to this then. The other thing I have to say, of course, Lucinda's line, absolutely amazing.
Oh, flawless! It's so good.
Yeah, cool. You missed it, Maya. But basically, Ghost was saying, when Irene actually appeared to both her and Kim, Ghost said, "We should trust this spirit because I remember her." And then Lucinda goes, "Yeah, just like you remember. No, perfect. Just like you remember all of your other memories." Yeah, Lucinda. Lucinda. That's how Lucinda and I have had our issues.
You know,
But when something goes right, something goes right. Yes.
It's moments like these that remind me, back in the day, right? I thought these series were close to flawless, and this has kind of tainted it for me. But I gotta tell you, after hearing lines like that, it really brings me back to remember. She had talent.
Okay, talk about like Aphmau here, not Lucinda
Yeah,
having talent.
Aphmau had talent when she
Lucinda
was writing
also,
these. She just didn't always bother to use it.
yeah, Lucinda also had talent, but she's not bothering to remember that she had it. And every season she gets progressively more nerfed, I guess would be the word in this case.
To the point of forgetting how teleportation works.
Exactly, and forgetting that it's not the second time she's used that spell, because in 2 other episodes she used it. Because I guess we made this the third, but she used it multiple times in both of those.
What would have been depressing? If over the courses of the season it's revealed she actually has dementia.
At the age of how old is she? 30? Yeah, the
It
age
could
of
be
30.
onset. It could be onset.
Even early onset, I think the case of early onset tend to be people in their 50s. Oh wait, actually, hold on. I think the record for the youngest person to ever be diagnosed with dementia was 26. That person also had Down syndrome, which I think makes you more susceptible. That's what I've heard, at least.
It says as early as a person's 30s, although this is rare.
Oh, I see.
So she could technically, I guess, right? How old are they by this point? That's a good point, actually.
Well, Lucinda, I think, is the same age as Gareth, so...
Well, how old is Gareth?
Yeah, Gareth I calculated to be 30 at this point. Maybe she's 29, actually. Now I think about it, she might have been a year younger. I can't remember now, but yeah, I think...
No, Lucinda was in their grade, because Lucinda and Caitlin were, like, long-term rivals.
Well, yeah, but Caitlin was also in a different grade to Aphmau.
Yeah, Lucinda and Gareth were in Caitlin's grade. Wait. Lucinda and Caitlin were in Gareth's grade, weren't they?
Okay, yeah, so actually... Yeah, so I did think at one point that meant they were juniors in season 1, but according to Aiden, that they were sophomores, and Gareth actually just got an invite because of...
Gareth was working it.
Yeah, Gareth got an invite because of the DJ thing, and that's why he was able to bring a date, despite the fact that why would you bother having a date to prom if you're the DJ for it? Like, when are you gonna get to interact with your dates?
Was Gareth the DJ? Is that what his job was?
Well, I think so. It was something to do with that. Either way, you're not gonna have time to really mingle and enjoy the prom if you're working at the prom. That feels like it was not the point.
Well, if you're the DJ, you could also just get a playlist going.
Then they wouldn't have to hire a student for that, then, would they? Like
he had time to go pick a fight with Jeffrey, didn't he?
That is also true. Yeah, so I have no idea the logic behind that, but I guess if Lucinda is only a year older than Aphmau and therefore would have been sophomore, when the time of season 1 happens, that would make her 29 at the moment.
She's pretty close. She's close enough.
Wow. Okay.
This whole thing was just a ploy to get my theory possible, and I gotta say, I think I've had a victory today.
Maybe
Lucinda, on the other hand, maybe not so much, but don't worry, she won't remember it in a couple of years.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Lucinda was like past her magical prime or something, but then I remember that Hyria at the age of 900 was able to control an entire forest. So yeah, no. That's
that is true. How old could Lucinda grow up to be? How old exactly?
Yeah. The question is, considering that 900 years ish is how much I predict has passed between MCD and MyStreet, and Lucinda in Diaries was still relatively young.
Actually, how
Could
old?
could Diaries Lucinda still be alive?
What species are the witches? Now that I think about it, were they looked human to me? How did they reach 900?
Magic, of course.
I'm sorry. Is immortality just a power here?
Maybe they use healing magics on themselves so that they can still recreate their cells and therefore
Then
don't
why
have...
did Hyria look so ancient? Why did she look like a grandma then? She could have looked like a piping 18-year-old.
I don't know. The other question, of course, is how old was Hyria when she gave birth to Lucinda?
Just a ripe 500. It's fine.
Even if she was 500, I'll make Lucinda 400 in Diaries, and she's clearly not 400.
Well, says who? We
I
don't
mean-
know how these people age. Again, I'm not even so sure they're people now that we're pointing this out.
Actually,
What
that's
are
a good,
they?
That's a good point. I was just thinking because Hyria calls her young, but then again, young to Hyria could actually be 400, so yeah, fine. I suppose.
What species are they? Is witch a species? And why do they look so human? Why do they
Maybe-
only look human? You could only interpret them as human.
Maybe they have elven DNA. Wasn't Zoe 1,000?
I guess if Lucinda showed up in the rebirth, we might have got confirmation about that. If she has elf ears or not.
That would also mean that MyStreet would have to have elf ears to have that work because of how witches would function. But also, witchcraft is taught, so you can just like, I guess it's canon that if you become proficient enough at witchcraft, you can live forever. Apparently, wait, that's why Derek is so old, because he's dabbled with potions, hasn't he? And also, the ultimate attack was said to happen a century ago, and it turns out it was just Derek's father, which means that Derek was a child a century ago, so he's over 100 years old now.
Have we just
Plus-
figured something?
Plus, yeah.
No, what have I done? What have I done? This is my doing. Wait, hold on. So if that's the way the timeline adds up, how old is Aaron then?
Oh no, Aaron's regular age. Aaron's 32. Like, we know that much because of the fact that he was in high school. That's the same.
Does that mean just?
Well, yeah, we're not going by Edward Cullen logic here. That just makes Aaron's age gap to Aphmau and Phoenix Job High even worse if we do that. So no, he was a regular senior. Some people said that he got held back a year, and he was. One person online said that he was a super senior because that, but like I don't know where that's coming from. I think that person was getting mixed up between Phoenix Job High and Falcon Claw, where he was held back a year. But that
I want to get held.
High.
I want to get held back so that way I get to call myself a super senior in the following year.
Don't yet. No.
That sounds like a good sacrifice to me.
Does it? It just means you have to. It means that you can't move away for longer.
I'm just saying. I feel like school itself is also just as cruel of a punishment. But yeah. Dude, did you know that homework was designed as a punishment initially, and then teachers just liked the idea and they just ended up warping it into whatever we have now?
I did not, but I can fully see that happening.
Yup, it was designed as a punishment. If you ever question what's the point of this, well, that's the point of it.
Well,
don't bother with it. It's not important. Don't worry.
Somehow that never came up in school. Now I think about it, like someone would have mentioned that, considering people have wanted to complain. Then again, I guess the ones who complain about the schoolwork didn't tend to do much for themselves. Why would they do external research for themselves? Now I think about it.
It's fair. Not everyone is like me, who's ready to just write a thesis paper about how terrible the entire school staff is.
This is true. I am almost, because I'm considering turning the evolution of Minecraft roleplays into a fully fledged video essay.
Oh, that'd be so cool. It could be like a high edited, like 30-minute to an hour video, and
considering that I took
a whole like research paper, yay.
Considering how I took 30 minutes to actually just, get all the information. No, I took like 50 minutes or something just trying to find enough footage to record while I was just trying to paraphrase everything. So yeah, it definitely would be like an hour or something, at least.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Okay, well, I will consider doing that. I guess, but I guess.
Oh,
Well,
and
in the
you could
meantime,
do
we'll
in the
continue
same
to.
like you could do in like the same format with of the clips as like you did back in your old like reviewing days for these, right?
I was thinking that, yeah. That's what I was imagining. But yeah, I guess we'll do that. But in the meantime, we will continue to review this series. And next time, we're going to get to the first episode I ever gave a negative review to, which, fittingly enough, was an episode 6 of MyStreet, which just became a trend.
Yeah, the first of many.
Yeah, it was the last of all of them, but it was the first of many to catch my eye for that reason. The only thing that I've reviewed before season 6, as far as I actually went, like in real time, was Graduation Days, which had 5 episodes. So yeah, never had that issue. Well, I also never got through all the Graduation Days episodes. I stopped halfway through. I forgot why. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm gonna do a full review a full season of MyStreet, a full season, and then 2 years later, I was like, I need to bring back the nostalgia and address everything. Let's dissect every piece of MyStreet ever, apart from Fall Festival, which I realized I still forgot to talk about. Oh wait, that's what I should do.
Yeah, I think you also
should
forgot to do detours.
Oh, no, I skipped detours. That was completely pointless. Yeah, no, but Fall Festival, I actually forgot. I should do that now because that was the last appearance of actual Emmeline. Oh well, that I can do sometime in the meantime. But of course, that's not the announcement that I need to make right now. What I need to say is when the next episode is, which is neither here nor there, which is Aphmau State when writing it, and that was on May 26th. So I'll see everyone back here in a week's time again on May 26th, same time, same place, 5 years later. Until then, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters, as Grant have done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.